Hi everyone. It's oh my goodness. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. I was trying to turn the music down so you guys can hear me. Happy Friday to you all. It's been a crazy week. First, we had Monday and Tuesday off because of all this snow, and then back to work, and then it's Friday, and it's just been crazy. People cleaning out the supermarket. And guess what, guys? I think Monday night, if I'm not mistaken, we're getting some more snow. I hope they made a mistake because we had enough already. But anyway, if you're in the areas of where the snow is supposed to take place, make sure you stock up on candles, food, water, the necessities, toilet tissue, soap, all those things, toothpaste, because who knows how much snow we're getting. Just be safe, and I say candles just in case the power goes out. So guys, how was your day and week? I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to be on here a little bit earlier, but I needed some music in me, and I really had some notes for this video today, and I really was thinking about what I was going to talk about here. So after all of that, I decided, because I've been talking about healing. This is related to healing, but in a different way today. So it all relates to that, but I use different ways of doing that. So thank you for being here, guys. Keep in mind, I'm not a therapist or a social worker or a counselor, just somebody who will never give up on myself and who will keep moving forward with the help of God. And I talk to others here who are having a hard time because I know what it feels like. I've been through hell and back, but you can't give up on you. And I talk about ways to become an overcomer instead of succumbing to these trials and tribulations. And as you build, grow, and heal, sometimes people leave your life, and then you gain haters, and just keep going and stay focused on your growth, mental and physical health. Without that, you can't do anything for yourself or anybody else. So, guys, let's get into this topic of discussion today. Having goals, building from the ground up, working day and night to accomplish those goals, asking God to help you in prayer, and doing the work to heal from the inside out. And remembering that there was no one there to help you or to build you up during your difficult times. Spending many days and nights on your knees in tears. I can relate to this guy so much, especially from 2020 to 2023. The pain was almost unbearable. On my knees, people not being there for me, and all having all types of emotions, anger, pain, tears, just all types of different emotions, and then grief from the losses, and then people not being there to just, listen, to just give their time. But I did all these things for everybody else for a very long time. And when I needed to be built up and for someone to be there, there was no one. Um, what I can say is that the church in my area where I used to live, they really stepped up to the plate. And I can really appreciate that. I'm going to tell you a positive about that because we were shut down in COVID, and they, maybe 6 or 7 of them came. They had masks on, but they came and brought sympathy cards because I had just lost my mother, and some other folks were already sick and on almost on their way out of here. So because it was a domino effect of loss, and the church came to the house. It was during a time where we could only go out to the supermarket and then back. and no place else. And they came with food, sympathy cards. They had all these different flowers, and I could appreciate that. It brought tears to my eyes. Somebody cared, because I was like, God, nobody cares, you know. I've been dealing with this all my life, blah, 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 blah. And then they showed up. God will show you signs, guys. Nobody else did anything, but they showed up. And, it helped me, you know, because I spent many nights and days on my knees in tears and pain, begging God to help me. Because I didn't think I could do it. It was very difficult. Because the people the people I thought had my back, all abandoned ship. But, I spent many nights listening to them late and encouraging them when I had to get up myself to go to work. Helping them, being given, subservient, and letting myself be used as a doormat. That was my life, guys, for the first half of it anyway. Learning lessons to heal from the inside out while building your foundation. And during the shutdown, while building your foundation from the ground up, during the shutdown, that's when I wrote my third book. All the pain in it, most of it is fiction. There's a hint of truth. That's all I'm going to say about that. But day and night and day, I was writing, and I was in pain, and I was just feeling. Sometimes I'd be okay for a minute, then I'm on my knees. Why, God? Why? This, blah, blah. Just the losses, and then people abandoning ship. So it was very difficult. Never felt pain like that. But guys, when you do the work to heal, and then you start to accomplish many of your goals as God helped you every step of the way, you start to feel better. As you feel better, you do better. And it takes care of your physical and mental health, because when that suffers, and then you're in grief and pain, and you don't want to do anything. There was many days and nights I didn't want to even get out of bed. That's how bad the grief and the pain and the betrayals, most of all, the betrayals of getting left, and remembering folks, abandoning me while telling others, and even telling me, you're never going to amount to nothing. You don't have nothing. You're not going to be nothing. And you ain't nothing, basically. Hearing that over and over again. Girl, sit down, shut up, the disrespect. It just horrific. And I took it all, guys. But guess what? I made it through the pain and the hard times. Because as I changed my way of thinking, that broken mindset of being subservient to other people while my needs are on a back burner, what I realized is that these things were lessons. People, situations, and circumstances come into our life for a reason, a season, a lifetime, or a lesson. And when, let me say it like this, listeners. When people come into your life for a lesson, they're not meant to stay. They're only there so that you can learn something. And once you learn that lesson, that door get closed, and you may never see that person again. And sometimes, like in my case, I didn't know these was lessons in the beginning. I had to sit in prayer, asking God for clarity, because I don't know what's going on here. And when I got the clarity, these are lessons, unlearned lessons, because it's different people, different situation, but the same scenario over and over again. Each time the wheel spun, it came back worse and worse, until I just said, okay, people walking away, I'm not running, skipping behind anyone. I'm just going to let them go and let God. Now, guess what, guys? You made it through the pain and the hard times. And these haters and people who said you wasn't going to amount to anything left you behind. Now they see you're not broken down, busted, and disgusted. That God is building you up as you do the work from the ground up. You're not taken from nobody, but you build everything from the ground up with the help of God. Now God is handing you some blessings, and you're showing gratitude and thanks, because as you make vows, as I make vows, and God start, blessing, sending blessings my way. And I'm just using as an example, because God is giving you things for all your hard work. And now these haters want to come back and sit at your table. They've been gone for a decade. To me, it's no different, and I use this metaphor a lot, of being on a Titanic ship. Your haters get off because they found a what do you call the boat? A lifeboat. So they got on, but you couldn't get on. And they sail away in that lifeboat. And now they come back a decade later to the scene of the situation, right? And they find out that you made it out. And now they want to talk to you, be in your face, etc., so forth. My answer to that, this is a joke, right? This is a crazy joke, right? There's no way anybody is coming back into my life who wasn't there for me at my lowest point. There's no way. And what they don't understand, because this is my story, guys, and this is why I have no words for this, not a whole lot anyway, because I was on the ground, and if it wasn't for God, I was never able to build myself up. I would not be able to build myself up if it wasn't for God, and just, oh goodness, guys, from the ground up, instead of trying to take from somebody and ride somebody's coattail and be codependent on other people, I learned to build from the ground up. And instead of being codependent, I learned to be independent. I learned to change my broken mindset from thinking that I can't survive without these folks, whether it's family, exes, ex-romantic partners or ex-friends or whatever it was. I know that I don't need that in my life, because many of those scenarios were lessons, unlearned lessons. Once I learned them, God closed the door and padlocked it. God cut the cord to many of those things. And the cord had to be cut because it was a lesson. Once I learned it, those doors got closed. But here's the other thing, guys. I decided as I was growing, healing from the inside out, is to make vows. I made vows to God, small ones that I can keep. And when I made those vows, my life changed tremendously. And no hater, nobody can stop the changes that God made in my life. Nobody can stop your connection with God. Nobody can stop you from prayer. Nobody can stop God from blessing you. And when somebody want to come back and sit and eat at your table, but they didn't help you build your empire, they were nowhere to be found. And now they feel entitled to whatever it is that you got, whether it's a lot or not. That's not the issue. You're not broken down, busted, and disgusted. You're not down at the bottom of the barrel. So they want to come back and enjoy your company and whatever you have, but they wasn't there for you when you needed them the most. And that sticks in my mind every day. So nobody who's left and abandoned me can never come back. And if there's an apology, I will accept the apology, but I have an apology and forgiveness is for me, the forgiveness, so that I can move on, so that I don't stay in a broken mindset, so that I can heal from the inside out, grow, heal, evolve, and help others to do the same. My prayers to God, my healing and inner peace is priceless to me. I am not willing to negotiate that for any hater or forms of toxicity that comes with it. I have no words or nothing to give to these haters, but it's just the audacity for me when they feel, after a decade of time that's gone by, some of this is 10 years or more, hey, how you doing? And it's just, why do people feel entitled to something that doesn't belong to them? I never can understand that. When you build from the inside out, You know, you're building on a solid foundation. But when you got your hand out, and I'm not, to use other people to take from them or think you can take from somebody, um, you're building on a shaky ground. And it's like the house of cards, it's all eventually going to fall down. And when you're dealing with somebody who's connected to God and they have done the work and they have been in pain they haven't even talked about, experiences and circumstances that no one person can survive without God, and you think God is going to come and let them take? Because what he gives us comes from his hand, and you think they're going to steal, he's going to just sit back and let them steal that? So I have no words or nothing to give to these haters. I just don't have words for it. My vows, like I said, has strengthened my relationship with God. The healing helped me to stop being subservient and codependent on other people. And if somebody want to go and leave, let them leave. Because now I look at it as, okay, I guess they're not meant to stay because it's a lesson. Okay, I learned the lesson. I guess this door is closing. I changed my mindset instead of thinking what's wrong with me, why they're leaving. Guys, if any of you are going through that, don't look at it in that way. We have to change that broken mindset to change the perspective. And once we change the perspective, then we can heal, grow, and evolve. And look at a lot of these things as lessons. Like I always say, people, circumstances, situations, don't matter who they are. You can share DNA with them or not, whatever it is, come into our life for a reason, a season, a lifetime, or a lesson. And if it keeps repeating itself, then there's something there that we are not learning. Once we learn it, then we can ask God to cut the cord, and he will shut the door and padlock it behind us. Okay, you learned the lesson. I had a situation recently of a hater trying to set me up for failure. And this particular hater thought that they had it in the bag, But I stay in prayer with God. And like I said, somebody who stays in prayer with God and make vows, and he answers those prayers. He's been really answering the prayers, because this, not just this person, but someone connected to them. And I don't want to use a whole lot because we are on YouTube, but I want to give an example to help somebody. And trying to set me up for a situation that they did something that they shouldn't have done, and then they try to put that on my plate and make it look like it was me. But anybody who knows me, I'm very thorough and detailed, and I'll save anything. My mother has taught me very well. I will save a document from A, B, C, D, when way back, and I was able to prove that this is not me, and and it's not identity theft. It's just somebody who were just trying to set me up because they don't like the new me. They don't like the changes I made. This is some case of some envy and some hate. But like I said, I stay in prayer a lot and ask God for clarity. And when I see things that makes me feel uneasy or something don't feel right, I listen to my intuition. I go into prayer. So what it was is that this week, God really came through, because other people saw what this was. And they all came out, oh no, this is not happening. And I was like, wow, God, you're really working on my behalf. And since I made vows, and let me tell you guys, one of the vows I made was not only to continue to do the work to heal, but to help others, to show them that they can do this, that they don't have to be in a trap, chokehold of toxicity, and that you have the power to make your own decisions. It doesn't matter what somebody else is telling you, what a hater is saying, And I learned how to do that because, guys, if you knew the old me, you would be, this is not the same person. That's how much healing and work I've done. And God has been showing up, like I said, taking steps on my behalf. And that situation that this person And he was very determined to do this. It's not happening. And the inside, you can feel like, okay, we're going here. Okay, I'm going into a deep 3-day prayer, and we'll see how this works out. And I started praising God, for his divine intervention on my behalf, because this setup was something to try to break me, stop me, or block me. But God stopped and blocked this situation, you know? And when people want to do this, it just shows how knee deep they're in a hate, a place of envy. Nothing good is going to come from it, and then trying to make me look like a negative, toxic stereotype to benefit something or whatever. I've never been that. And I don't have any addictions. The only addiction I had was being self-servient to other folks and being what's the other word I use? Self-servient, and being a doormat to other folks and putting my needs on a back burner. That's the only, thing that I had. So I just, and God, I love the way how God exposed the truth. There's a scripture that says, what is in the dark will be exposed to the light and therefore render powerless. And he does that so creatively. And I also tell you guys, when you stay in prayer, and it doesn't mean you have to be religious and you have to be this and that. You just have a relationship with God by talking to him. And when things get really intense at times, I sit and talk with him. Stay in prayer, fasting. I do my vows weekly, and he answers the prayer. It seems like faster. Exposing the truth of these situations, because now there's a lot of haters, people, oh, she thinks she's this and that, and it's nothing like that. If any of those haters had to go through what I had to go through, they wouldn't make it through. And I'm not bragging any, because there's nothing to brag about. I mean, there's things, guys, that I want to talk about that I haven't even gotten to yet, and you would say, how you still here? It's because of God. None of this stuff is easy, but it's worth it, just like you are worth it. So don't let anybody think they can break you down and blah, blah. You got to pick up your self-esteem from the ground. That's why I talk about building yourself, and healing from the inside out will help you to do that. You cannot break someone who draws their strength from God. Haters think they can, but they can't, because God will always intervene through divine intervention. They can think it's a joke, play with it, whatever. Let me tell you something. I made a video probably a week ago about the power of silence. I've learned this, and this is all part of changing my mindset. When you change your mindset to a different perspective, you can see the clarity of what's happening, and you can change it for the better with the help of God. The power of silence. Meaning that I'm going to stay focused on what I'm doing here, building others up and building myself up and doing the work to heal. And God, with this situation, with these haters and people, I'm going to go silent now, because I'm giving this to you so that I can stay on this path. Because any more interaction with these haters, meaning that I'm taking the focus of helping other people, like being on here, and helping myself, to the negativity and toxicity of the haters, then that's a regression. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go silent and give this to you so that you can handle it. And when God got you, who can be against you? He's going to work it out. And I've seen evidence of it over and over. So the power of silence, guys, is a sign of giving it up to God, so that he can bring the justice to the situation that it needs. And when that justice is brought, it balances out that scale again. No one is entitled to take anything from your hard work. No one is entitled, I don't care who they think they are, hate or whatever. No one is entitled to take what you build from the ground up. They were not there to help you. They didn't participate. They didn't do anything. But they just want to share in whatever it is that you have. You don't have to do this. What I do is cut off, block, and delete, and continue to work on myself. Find people who want you in their life. to be a good friend, to motivate you, to help you, to build you up, guys. There's still good people in this world who are like that. Surround yourself, find people like that and surround yourself with them, so that when you have days, not so good days, they can build you up, and vice versa. Instead of all the hate, the envy, the jealousy, the gossip, all of that stuff, what I've learned to do is to give my silence to it. And I've also learned to listen to my intuition. If it's walking like a duck, if it's quacking and looking like a duck, it must be a duck. I don't call it a bear or anything else. When someone show you who they are, believe them the first time. Because otherwise, you can fall knee deep into some negativity or toxicity where it will take you a long time to get out. So listen to your intuition, male or female, listening here, because your intuition will always show you what the truth is. Some people are wearing masks of deceptions and they wear it well. And I know how to look at that. And when my intuition tells me something, I listen to it. And then when haters do A, B, C, D, and E, I just go silent, talk to God. I'm giving this to you so I can stay on my path. And I know you're going to handle it. And keep building yourself up, guys. Because if your mental and physical health is not okay, then you're not okay. And you can't do for yourself or anybody or anything around you. In this case, that must be a priority, guys. Like I always say in these videos, it is better to be at a place of inner peace instead of broken down into pieces. That's the message today, guys. Go and enjoy yourself, self-care, music, do whatever it is on a positive to build yourself up so that you can continue to take care of your mental and physical health. One of the ways I do that, guys, is humidifier so I can sleep at night, because I was having a hard time sleeping for a long time until I started using the lavender essential oil. It calms me down. It goes into the humidifier and it steams the room, and then it just calms me down, along with some chamomile tea. All of these things help. Do things to build yourself up, so that you're okay. And when you're okay, you can continue to heal, grow, and evolve. That's the message again today, guys. I will be back on Monday. Thank you for being here. Share this message with other people who need to hear it, because everyone don't communicate how they feel. But they can be here at this channel and be motivated to continue to move on. Well, guys, I am going to go eat something now. You guys have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. And I'll be back sometime on Monday. Leave your comments. Like the video. Subscribe. And look at the links that I put underneath this video and see if there's anything of interest for you. Thank you, guys. This is Lisa, shedding love and light. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Bye for now, guys.